Salutations, friends and strangers of the interwebs. Welcome back. I am said Stevie. Today, we're checking out this bad mamma jamma right here. This is the Pinion from Tempest Knives. Yep, Casey from Knives Fast has designed a knife, and he has it on pre-order. And before I get this going along to the next person, I figured I would go over the specs, give my thoughts and opinions on it, and yeah, go from there. So, starting out, you are looking at a 3.4-inch bead blasted blade. I believe he's calling this a drop sheep, modified sheep's foot blade. You see that it's got the slot for deployment, the Tempest Knives logo, a captured logoed pivot, kind of that Knives Fast logo, similar to his Knives Fast logo. This handle scale is in blue G10, comes in a couple other flavors. I'll go over the body screws and so there's some changes happening to the production. This is just a prototype. Being that you see those slots there, shows that this does have a reversible wire pocket clip, a matching G10 backspacer, and then moving along you have a T8 logoed pivot there. And then although this is an OS 10, the production will be in 14C 28N. You're looking at a handle length of, let's see, I think it said it was 4.5. So I get a really good grip on here with a little bit hanging out. And with that, being that there is no flipper tab, you got this flat here and a little bit of a choil, so you can choke up really well. Yeah, this is currently riding on bearings, so it does have good, smooth action. As I mentioned, finger slot for deployment. Detent is pretty dang snappy. And then you are able to, if I didn't mention, this is a liner lock. So you can access the liner really well. And then it drops right to the nail. Little shake shut, and it's home. I'd say overall, this is a really great knife. They are coming in at. I'll go over all that here, pricing and all that in a minute. I've had this knife in for about a week, and I've spent. It's pretty much been in my pocket the full time. One of the things I'll say right off the bat that I really like about it is, although these wire pocket clips are good, in my opinion, a lynch clip is even better. And I just put this wire clip back on just to show it off initially, but I've been carrying it with a lynch clip, and you can see it's extremely easy to change out. And in my opinion, I think the aesthetics are better, and I like the lynch clip even more. But yeah, so the entire time I've had it, I've been carrying it with the lynch clip on it. I'm gonna pause and put that back on real quick, or take that off. No, I'll do it on camera just so you guys can see. I mean, it is extremely easy to take these wire clips on and off. It's a little bit harder to put the wire clip back on because you kind of got to do this little pinchy deal here to line everything up, but it's not that big of a deal at all. So you can see in no time at all, if you have a lynch clip, you can absolutely put that on there. Back to ergos real quick. With or without the lynch clip, there are no hot spots on this knife at all. Ergos are good. One thing, and this is just a personal preference thing, I'm not knocking the knife for this, but it's completely void of jimping. I'd like to see some jimping on the spine of a knife, and then even a little bit of jimping on the liner. Again, that's just a personal preference. I think that this knife works just fine without the jimping. It is just a little slick up top. But other than that, in the ergos department, I got zero complaints. He did send me over a change list. So it's going to change to 5 millimeter 1/16 bearings. I don't know what's in there now, but I guess that means if you wanted to, you could put skiffs in here. All the screws are moving to T8. So all the screws right now outside of the pivot, I'm assuming, which I haven't even touched the pivot screw, but I do know that that pocket clip is T6 and the body screws are T6. So good on you for that. Um, all the screws are going to be shinier to match the wire clip. He said some were bead blasted. Um, yeah, if that's for the masses, okay, I'd prefer bead blasted hardware. That's just mine because I like my hardware to match the blade personally. So if you're going to have a stonewash blade or a bead blasted blade, I think that the um, hardware should match that. But again, that's just a personal preference. The clip screw will be smaller so it doesn't catch in the pocket. This didn't seem to be such a big deal to me at all, but you can see what he's talking about there. The pocket clip screw does sit a little proud, so it's going to catch a little bit going in and out of pocket. But that being said, I didn't have any issues with this going in and out of pocket. He said all blades will be consistently centered. Well, I guess this one's off slightly, but this has also been passed around a bunch, and I have not done anything to this whatsoever. The blade is not loose by any means, but it does appear that it's off center slightly. But that's going to be corrected. And then he said they're going to lengthen the blade tip 2 millimeters so that it actually goes down to the back spacer. Also, back to the clip, they're going to center it and move it up. So that is actually one thing that I was going to say on a personal opinion that I didn't really care for aesthetically, but that's already being changed. So, all that being said, even before that stuff was said, I still think that this is a pretty dang good knife. Again, I would like to see some jimping on there, but I don't expect everyone to design knives to my specific preference at all. Another thing, and this could just be my fat thumbs, I cannot consistently flick. Well, there, I did it there. I cannot consistently flick the knife with my thumb. If I get down and I think about it, yeah, I can. But if I'm gonna have a slot only for deployment, I want to be able to consistently, like, there you go. But again, it's just not consistent for me. That's probably my stupid fat thumbs issue and not the knife issue, really. But I'm sure some of you have stupid shaped thumbs as well, so that could be a problem. But on the middle finger flick, all day, like a dream. No problem whatsoever. But that does limit me to really one method of deployment. So maybe in the future, if there's ever a V2, I would love to see this be a front flipper. It seems like it would be extremely easy to make this a front flipper. And then I think that that would be awesome. But again, I am not nitpicking the knife itself on that. That's just Stevie's personal preferences. As is, I mean, with those changes that are coming along, I think that you guys are really going to dig this knife. And I think a lot of you already have gotten in on the pre-order. It's been running for a while now. There are 3 different variants of the Tempest. So you can get this in black micarta, and that's the one that I have already ordered. I would prefer a micarta over the G10. The G10 is slick. Kubi is the OEM on this, if I didn't mention. Sometimes they do this slick. So here's a couple of my Kubies that I got right now, and it's a good example of the different G10s that they do. If I could get them out here. So similar to this is like the Royale cheese. It's a slick G10. It's not grippy at all. It's got some texturing to it, but really it's pretty dang slick. And then you have the Kubi Duroc here that has like standard G10. In my opinion, if you're in, maybe was just Casey's choice to go with the slicker G10, but it feels fine in hand. It is a slick knife though, literally just with no jimping and then that texturing. So keep that in mind. But I've never seen Kubi's micarta. It's just based on the pictures. It looks all right, and that's the one I'm going with. So that one, that variant in micarta is $84.99. The version here that I have is $74.99, and then there's also the black G10 in $74.99, and then he's got a 3-pack that you can get all 3 versions for $219, and I think that ends up being somewhere like around a $15 savings. So, as I mentioned, I handled it briefly at Blade Show. That was enough for me to know I wanted it. So when the pre-order opened a couple weeks ago, or it's been a little while now, I went ahead and placed my pre-order. I knew that this was a knife that I was going to want. Getting it in hand really only solidifies that. I like this knife, definitely. Again, nitpicking little things here on preference, as I mentioned, but I like the blade shape. I like the fact that I can throw a lynch clip on there. It's a good neutral handle. Ergos are good. So I got no problems recommending this knife. In fact, I really do give it 2 thumbs up. Good job, Casey. I think you did a great job, and I'm excited to see what else you got coming along. So that's it, folks. I will leave a link to the Tempest Knives website so you can get in on the pre-order if you haven't already. And let me know if you got any other questions. You can always hit up Casey on Instagram, I'm sure, if you got questions. Definitely subscribe to Knives Fast if you haven't already. Casey goes live, I think, a couple times a week on Mondays, and then like a recap on Fridays, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe you can always catch him in one of his lives and ask him some questions there. Yes, stay tuned to Knives Fast and Tempest Knives for updates on the pre-order. I don't know when this is going to be shipping at all, but that's all I got for you, folks. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, and until the next one, I bid you mofos adeuces.